All right. How long before the technical difficulties start to mess us up in this one?
Hopefully, hopefully 0 minutes.
So you want 0 minutes before the technical difficulties mess us up?
Oh shit, I said that backwards. Hopefully.
Oh, lock it in! Lock it in! Welcome to a conversation with Judy and Ryan right here on YouTube at takeabreathpod. You can also use that @ to find us anywhere else. TikTok, Instagram, Patreon. $5 a month on the Patreon gets you put onto the ticker team, where you could see your lovely name floating right beneath us as you're probably reading some other stuff right now. It'll get to the names. All right, it gets to the names in a minute. As you guys might be able to see, we have a guest in today. Look, the way Judy's been acting with all these vacations, she might get replaced in perpetuity by the EP. Like, the EP is saying no, but she doesn't get that. I'm the CEO, okay? My face is the logo. I'm the one who makes the decisions. So if we need to get rid of her, we'll get. You're frozen. You're entirely frozen. She's it. That's all I see right now. Can you say anything? Nope. She cursed us. 0 seconds.
Oh, we're back. We're back.
0 seconds. We already have that's your fault. That is 100% your fault.
I didn't mean 0 minutes.
You jinxed us.
I did. I was like, what is happening?
Oh my God. But yes, thank you. Thanks, Bad Pity, for coming on to the show today. Thanks, EP. We appreciate you. Also, if anyone is curious, this is because of all the technical difficulties. This is the third time we were trying to record this show. But you know what? Warrior spirit.
Warrior spirit.
That's why we're here. So, all right. As we start off every show, you know what we like to do.
Get in the comments.
Get in the comments. First one comes to us. Keith Yoder, 1448. He's a mainstay on this section of the show. I'd pay to see Ryan in a pair of ice skates gracefully gliding across my heart. That's right. I am graceful in everything I do, okay?
I know. I feel like Keith is trying to steal my husband over here.
I mean, we're just going to move on from that. I look like... I know that because of everything, I'm not in my normal state of readiness for the show. I look homeless.
No, you don't.
This is the man you married. You married a homeless man.
You don't look homeless. You just look like your hair's tied back, because it is.
What about my beard? You're telling me my beard looks like this all the time?
So the beard, it could be better.
Okay, anyway, back to...
Get in the comments.
Okay, we got one more. This was left on the video where I talked about how I peed in my ex-wife's bed when we were dating. Okay.
Okay.
But it's still a little confusing to me because it's just Patrick Westbrook saying, "Hi, am single, ready to mingle." I mean, is he telling me that he's into water sports? Is that what that is? I'm confused. I'm very confused on that one.
I have no idea. First, my initial thought was, of course, backup. But second of all, that guy looks like he's...
Not everything is someone trying to steal your husband. You need to calm down.
I'm perfectly calm, but he
Patrick.
literally said he was single and ready to mingle, and like, no.
Maybe he's talking to Judy. Maybe maybe he wants her to pee on him or in his bed.
Maybe. But yeah, Patrick, why are we making that information public? Like, why are we doing that?
Well, see, okay, so if I have to play devil's advocate, I will say he's probably just doing that on that's a copy and paste response. Every post he sees, right? It's like me on Tinder. It's just nothing but swipes. Nothing but swipes. right? So he just every single video, he's like, you know, that was kind of funny. Single ready to mingle. Huh? These are the kind of people that I want to be around.
Maybe, who knows? But Patrick, you got to be paying attention to the stuff you're putting that on if that's the case.
Look, we don't kink shame. Maybe that's what he's into, love. Okay. Maybe he just wants to sit in a bed full of pee.
I guess, but like, it's not for me.
You never done that before? You never done? Don't worry, we can try it later. We'll try it later. It's fine. You gotta open up your horizons.
I think we can talk about that. Not right now.
No, we just did. We'll try it later. It's fine.
No.
All right.
No.
I have discovered a couple of my new favorite sports.
Okay.
It is nothing but just pure violence. And it makes me happy on some level. Like, remember the slapping competitions? I think UFC has one called Power Slap or something like that.
Yeah. Just big guys go
stand in front of each other. Yeah, they just literally stand in front of each other and get slapped, you know, in back and forth order. But now we've found almost a version of that, but with football.
No way.
So I found this league is called Run It. And what they do, I know that you never played football, but there's a drill called the Oklahoma drill, which is essentially when the defender and the offensive player just go one-on-one to see who can get the better of the other. You know, it's a tackling drill, but it's meant to just be a one-on-one physical, who can do better in this moment, right?
Okay.
So this team, or this league in New Zealand, turned that one drill into a whole ass sport. Watch this. 3, 2, 1, run it! Bam! Oh my God!
Oh shit!
Right? And what
Is that
makes
guy
this
okay?
Who cares? What makes this so much better is that these are big ass New Zealand Maori type dudes, right? So think of The Rock, but if it was nothing but beef everywhere, not the lean stuff that The Rock be roided up with, but nothing but like real athletic beef running into each other. I gotta watch this again. It's
my God.
Look at it. 3, 2, 1, run it!
Oh my God!
Oh, so good! That's so good! What I also love is, like, this is one of the earlier videos, right?
Okay.
They've actually upped their production value. So now they'll have, like, a Mr. Fan behind both of the guys, so that when you see the collision, it's nothing but water also splashing everywhere to make it seem that much more violent.
Oh my God.
All right. So
that's crazy.
So we've got this. We've got the CTE Olympics right there.
Okay.
But then my next favorite one. Look at this. They just throw a gun into the middle of an MMA ring, and then these two guys have to try and fight for it. And then whoever gets to shoot the other one first wins.
What the fuck is this?
Yes! I love Russian MMA. They don't care. They will do anything. This is the same country that brought you like 3-on-3 MMA and intergender MMA and all these different. Now we got whoever can get the gun jujitsu first, right?
Like, who thought of that? Like, who was just like, you know what would make this more interesting? A gun.
It was a drunk Russian. That's who. I mean, they were in the gulag, just like, you know what, friend? I'm going to take this gun and I'm going to throw it. And if you can get gun first, then you win. But I will try and break you.
And also, like, are they actually shooting it at each other? Like, is there anything in it, or like, is it just like air pellet, or like what?
I think it's a pellet gun, love. Looking at it, it doesn't look like an actual gun. So maybe it's either a BB gun or a pellet gun. But I know Russians is some crazy motherfuckers. I don't think that they actually got like a 44 in there. Click, what's up?
Like,
what's up? Right. And then to go along with this one, though, right? Because you can't just do the gunfight. So we also have to do businessman in a suit knife fight. Look at that. Just carving him up. He's so happy. Do you see his face as he's slicing the other guy too? This is the greatest day of my life. This is the greatest day of my life.
He's so red. Like, why is he so red?
Because all the blood is rushing to his head because he's been fighting in this fucking three-piece suit for 5 minutes trying to get this guy. Look, his tie is choking him. It's a whole thing. That's how you know that these are. That's how you know that these are real athletes, okay? Because I ain't never seen Kobe Bryant play in a tie, okay? Michael Jordan never dimed anyone up in a suit.
That was crazy.
Oh man, these are my new favorite sports, okay? I am so happy that things like this exist. I am so happy that there is the internet that allows for things like this to exist. It's the greatest. It's just the greatest.
Yeah, the internet's pretty cool, I guess.
You know that this is going to be our this is going to be our household for the next 6 weeks too, right? Like it's just going to be me watching different versions of these sports in perpetuity. And then especially with the run it with the Oklahoma drill, oh, me and Asher are going to be doing that. Oh yeah. Yeah. He's going to start at one end of the apartment. I'm going to start at the other end. I'm going to blow his ass up.
I thought you guys meant watching. I'm going to have to veto that.
Oh, no. I'm going to 3, 2, 1. And then bam, I'm going to elbow him. I'm going to flying elbow right in his dome. He's going to know who the alpha of this house is.
I think that there are other ways to teach him that.
Yeah. But this is easier and more effective. Prison rules. She froze on me again. What I said was so disturbing to her. Her computer froze. Oh, man. That's great. All right. While we're waiting for her to come back. There she is. While we're waiting for her to come back.
Can you guys hear me?
Babe, you don't have to ask. If I say you're back, you're back. Okay? We're just rolling with it.
Sorry.
It's all right. It's your first time. We're taking your podcast virginity, right? Well, you're co-hosting virginity right now.
It's true.
So
it's true. Yeah.
It's okay. We're going to get through this. Like I said earlier, warrior spirit.
Warrior spirit.
I came across something from my childhood. Mm-hmm. Well, it's not something I remember from my childhood, but it was in the time of my childhood.
Okay.
So for reference for you, you were either a wee little baby or you weren't born yet, because you love to just tell me all the time, like, oh yeah, I was out drinking and stuff. You're like, I was in middle school. So
it's funny. I'm sorry.
So I just want to share this commercial with everyone so you guys can relive the timeline that I grew up in. This is a chicken finger commercial.
Finger blasting is the best.
Try one finger at a time.
Yum.
2 fingers.
Okay.
And then, if everybody's cool with it, work up to 3.
No, 2's good. For now.
I'll take what I can get.
Finger blasting is the best.
Try one finger at a time.
I'm sorry. This is how you know that the men were always going to win the battle of the sexes, okay? We had y'all on camera saying 2 is fine for now. Like, why do you think OnlyFans is so popular? Why do you think so many women use OnlyFans as a way to make money? It's because they grew up with the finger blasting commercial.
I can't even hardcore disagree with that.
It's because I speak facts. It's because everyone wants to disagree and be like, oh no, Ryan, he's wacky, he's goofy, he's all. No. If you think about what I'm saying, there's a lot of truth to it, okay?
I don't even know how I feel about this commercial.
You don't know how you feel about getting finger blasted?
Stop.
How many? Do you want one finger or two?
We're not doing this.
Oh, you want to go straight to three?
Oh my God.
You said we're not doing one or two. You want to go right to three? Okay, look at you.
When I said this, I wasn't talking about getting finger blasted. I was talking about like the conversation as a whole, okay?
So you
Stop
do want to get
laughing
finger
at me.
blasted. So you do want to get finger blasted. I'm confused because you said I wasn't talking about finger blasting, and now I am talking about finger blasting. Like, you can understand how that's confusing for me.
For the record, I don't want that.
You don't want to get finger blasted.
No.
Dead bedroom. Okay. Good Lord. Here I am just trying to spice up our life, and you're just like shutting it down. Like, nope, I'm good.
Oh my God. Why are you like this?
I don't know why so many people have to ask me that question every week. Okay. Okay. Like,
Who else asked you that?
my coworker Deontay asked me at least once a week, why am I like this?
Oh.
Now
I feel bad.
But he says it in the same way you do, right? Like, he's like I've said something and he's looking at me. He's like, and his eye maybe twitches a little bit, right? The forehead vein is popping. He's like, what? Why are you like this?
Oh man.
And I tell him the same thing I tell you. It's a dopamine rush that I'm just always chasing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I got that kind of ADD where I just need to pick at people all day long. In a hilarious way though, right?
Usually.
Yeah, well, usually. What do you mean usually? When's the last time I wasn't fucking hysterical? Tell me.
I mean, we've had several jokes go into the Hall of Fame. Like several.
They were all hilarious though. Just because they're inappropriate doesn't mean they're not hilarious.
I mean, some of them were funny. The one's not about me.
I'm giving you 4 fingers later.
No.
All right. So, love, you were telling me about how someone was able to put a deposit down on a car without actually knowing they were putting a deposit down, which to me it just sounds like this is one of, if not the dumbest people that I've ever come across. But maybe I missed something. So please.
Let me read it to you. Hold the phone. Let's see.
She wasn't ready.
I'm sorry, I wasn't. This person posted to Quora, I accidentally put a deposit on a vehicle and signed a contract. Can I back out of the deal? I never took possession of the vehicle. And I'm just like, how do you not know that you're putting money down and signing for a car? How do you not know that?
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to say is, if I had known that the entirety of the story was what I had already said, I honestly thought you were going to have a little bit more of like, oh, I clicked this link and it connected my bank account, but I didn't think they were actually going to take the money. But you're just like, no, I deposited on a car and I've signed a contract without real. What? Oh my God, people.
I'm hilarious. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, totally. This has to be one of those like Carvana things, right? Because there's no way that they went into the dealership and did all this on accident. So I've got to believe it's like a completely online interaction.
I don't know. I just thought that was so crazy. Like, I came across this the post and I was like, I've bought a car. Multiple people have bought a car. There's no way that you are putting money down and signing for it and that you don't know what you're signing for.
No, but see, this is the issue with being able to do everything online nowadays, right? Like my point is, how many times have one of us, in general, I'm not saying you or me specifically, but like one of us, the royal us, been a little tipsy, a little faded, a little in our feelings, just anything. And we bought some stuff that we weren't thinking we were going to buy. And then it just showed up. Like, I feel like that's happened every now and then. And the issue is that now you can do that with a car. You could go on eBay or maybe even Amazon, obviously Carvana. You got a couple too many drinks in you. And next thing you know, you've dropped $5,000 on a deposit for a piece of shit Mitsubishi Eclipse because you were watching Fast and Furious. You want to get your Paul Walker on.
Okay.
Rip.
But like, would you not have to put in your banking information? Like, not your debit card, but your banking information.
No, I mean, it would just depend on the limits of your card, right? Like, if you have a card that will allow you to spend $5,000-$10,000 at a clip, Look, you don't understand this because you and I are what is called a poor, right? We don't have that kind of money in our bank account so that we could just be dropping. Like, if we spent $1,600 on like some appliances at Home Depot, our card is getting shut down. We got to call the bank. No. Yeah, we're just buying like a washer and dryer, okay? But some people out there, like, they just buy stuff, right? So it's possible. Or, and I don't know the legitimacy of this, but possibly they did it on a credit card. That one's probably more far-fetched.
I was going to say, I don't think they'll let you.
But they will definitely let you do a deposit on a debit card.
I feel like I don't like that.
Oh, okay. That's cogent analysis right here, people.
I just feel like that's not safe. Like, what if somebody else has my debit card? And they can just go, whoop.
I'm sorry, you want the internet to be safe?
I mean, don't we all?
No. I would say most people want the internet to be, well, I shouldn't say most people. Many people want the internet to just be chaos and anarchy, and then the other people aren't on social media. So
yeah, I safe internet would be cool. I would like safe internet. I have a kid to think about, you know what I'm saying?
Like I said, we're poor, so we're not getting into this position anytime soon, okay? Nobody's trying to, knock on wood, because times are tough, so maybe they're going for the leanest of lean, but nobody's trying to break into our bank account to get the 32 cents that we have after we pay all our bills, okay? Nobody's trying to do that.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Honestly, you guys, you really want to know where our money is? She keeps it under the mattress, like an old lady in the 60s, okay? Yeah, the one fire and our entire life savings is gone. That's all I'm saying.
There's not going to be any fires, though, so I don't know why you're worried.
You're not supposed to admit that you keep the money under the mattress. Now they're going to come find us.
It's not under the mattress.
You're supposed to. Oh, it's too late now. It's not there. I'm going to have 3 fucking New Zealanders from Run It come in Oklahoma, drill my fucking door in a minute.
It's not under the mattress. So, I mean, they're going to come and they're going to find nothing because it's not going to be there.
Now, because you're actively moving it. Oh, it's not under the mattress. So I got to go to the bathroom real quick. Hold on, guys.
Right, let me go real quick. Sorry. It's not under the mattress.
God. All right. Babe, did you hear about the breakup that swept over the entire nation starting on Thursday?
You mean the breakup between Donald Trump and Elon Musk? Yes, I have heard about it.
Oh my God.
It's getting pretty crazy.
This is the greatest thing. This is like watching, remember the show The Hills on MTV?
Know of it.
Of course you know of it because I was in middle school when that show was out. So The Hills had a pretty notorious breakup in which Lauren Conrad, LC, and Heidi Montag, who were friends from the previous show, best friends from Laguna Beach, and that transitioned into The Hills, And at some point during that show, they split up, right, as friends.
Okay.
This has all the same vibes, right? Because think about this time last year. Trump is on his political campaign.
Yeah.
Elon is just shoving millions and millions and hundreds of millions of dollars into not just his, but a whole bunch of political campaigns. He's having him, they're doing interviews on X together that are getting millions of people listening to it and everything like that. And then we transition into, Trump wins the presidency and makes Elon the head of Doge. Elon is now just taking a samurai sword to so many different things in our government, right? And then you fast forward to, everything that's transpired, in which, look, I'm not really sure how the whole break started, like what the actual fracture of it was. Maybe it is this big, beautiful bill because that got rid of all of Elon's like energy savings for his cars. Maybe it's that Elon did a terrible job with Doge. I don't know, right? But what I do know is that there was a fissure at some point, which led to Elon, probably in a state of ketamine-induced fury. He got to X, okay? He got on there, and he was like, without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would control the House, and Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate. Such gratitude. He followed this up. Now, also, real quick, what I will say, I'm not exactly sure about the timeline of all of these tweets, so if I'm getting them out of order, my bad. But really, it doesn't matter, okay? But he followed that one up with, the Trump tariffs will cause a recession in the second half of this year. Second half, it's causing a recession in the first half of the year. All right? And also, that's also part of Doge. Anytime, and look, I get it, because I'm the first one to say sometimes if you want change, you got to make some drastic shit happen for change to happen, right?
Yeah.
So, not saying whether all the cuts with Doge are good or bad or whatever in this sentence, but when you make issues like that happen, it's going to cause more issues and more costs in the short term. All right. But so we go from Trump tariffs will cause a recession in the second half of this year to time to drop the really big bomb. At real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. This is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. To which then Trump responded on his Truth Social account, right? They're not on the same platform yelling at each other. They're on their own separate ones. So Trump on Truth Social, the easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. So Elon responded to this. In light of the president's statement about cancellation of my government contracts, SpaceX will begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately. So, I mean, I really don't know how much that would really affect anything. I haven't done the research on if the Dragon spacecraft. Like, honestly, Trump will probably just get Qatar to donate a spacecraft like he did with the plane, and then we'll be fine again, right? But the funniest thing that came out of all of this was this picture right here. Look at that. Look at that right there. Oh, man. Have you guys ever... There was a movie called The Breakup that starred Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston, and those two have been replaced in this Photoshop picture with Elon. I think that's Elon. Honestly, the way that they did the picture, that could still be Vince Vaughn.
I was just thinking that.
That could still be Vince Vaughn. We're going to assume that's Elon. And then obviously Jennifer Aniston was replaced by Trump. Oh, God.
I love the blockbuster.
I love how much drama is happening. This is still
so much drama. Yeah.
This is still within, I guess, as of what? as of 2 days ago, we're done with the first 6 months, right? But this is like the first 6 months. Oh God. I was telling everyone when Trump got elected that this was now a roller coaster for me. And I'm just enjoying the ride, okay?
Yep.
And we just hit one of those dope ass loop-de-loop-de-loops, okay?
Yeah.
Oh,
I've seen a couple of people talk about this on TikTok, and it's just been really entertaining to see them go back and forth at each other. I mean, truthfully, I don't know a ton about politics, so I'm not going to pretend to be one way or the other because I don't know what happened. But like, it's been fun.
the thing that makes me feel the best about this is that as of this moment, Elon is the richest person in the world, right? And it just shows me that even rich people can be stupid. Like, it's not like it really, like, yes, there are a lot of rich people. Normally you have to be very smart. You have to be very premeditated and think your actions out and everything like that. But sometimes there are people who just get money because like they had one really good idea or they got set up really good in a certain thing, right? And my point in saying that is Elon's number one thing, other than the governmental contracts, right? Which obviously, if you're making the majority of your money on government contracts, maybe you don't take a torch to, you know, the number one friendship in that sector. But then his other thing was, you know what? I know that my company, Tesla, is built on like green energy and all that kind of stuff. What if I supported the side of the government that hates that? That'll work out for me. That'll work out real well. And then here we are. Here we are. In which his stock prices, his profits, everything massively down. The people that did want to buy his cars because they were green energy conscious now are going away from him in droves. Oh, and then the side of the ticket that he supported are the side that want diesel and gasoline and more black smoke in the air, right? And I'm being hyperbolic when I say that, but you get what I'm saying. Like, these are the people, they don't want green. They don't want Teslas. Even your fucking weird truck, okay? Which, yeah, I get it. If I was 9 years old, I would think that was the coolest thing. Just like the Prowler. When I was 9, I thought it was the coolest thing. It was a PT Cruiser on skis. And I was like, I want that. Because I was a dumb 9-year-old. And the only people I can imagine thinking that a Cybertruck is cool are dumb 9-year-olds. I wish my kid was here so I could ask him. Okay.
He does think that the Cybertruck is cool.
You see?
He's told me on many, many, many occasions. And every single time I'm like,
Yeah.
But
like I'm not even going to talk about the quality control of them. Like, just from an aesthetic look, I don't think that they look good. So
it literally looks like a kid drew it, and they were like,
you know,
bet.
Oh my God. No, you know what it looks like? Kobe had a terrible looking moon shoe back in the day. I wore the fuck out of it. Let me see if I can pull them up, because that's what it looks like. Let's go. Kobe moon shoe. Here, let me do this so that everyone can share in with me. All right. Let's go here. All right. Kobe moon shoe. Yes. Look at that. Look at that. It's the Cybertruck on a foot. Look at that.
Oh my God, it is.
Right? Anyone want to see? Let's do this. Let's do a little side by side. We'll go cyber. Thank God I learned how to type, because otherwise this would suck right now. Look, we got the Cybertruck and the Cyberfoot.
Oh my God.
Look, it's the same thing. All you did, Elon, you just took a shoe that Kobe made back when I was in high school and you turned it into a truck. Good for you, buddy. Good for you. Richest man in the world right there.
Yep. I don't know. I can't get behind Tesla, but
I know, and that makes me sad because I really used to want Tesla. And
I know.
Either way. But yeah, honestly, at this point, though, there's so many different electric options. Like, that's not even a big deal. All
That's
right.
true.
Love?
Yeah.
It's time for Am I Overreacting? All right. Am I overreacting? Where did I put it? Right here. Am I overreacting? Husband left 2.5-year-old alone watching TV to walk across the street to get Starbucks. We are staying with my in-laws because my father-in-law is on hospice and we are here to help. We've been here 2 months. My 2.5-year-old toddler woke up an hour before I did. My husband was up and he turned on the TV, cartoons, because we have to make sure that it's not just like, RoboCop, and walked 5 minutes away to Starbucks and 5 minutes back while I was asleep upstairs. The walk includes walking through a cul-de-sac to a busy street, crossing it, and walking a little bit further to the corner store, Starbucks. Maybe he was gone 10 minutes at minimum, but 20 at most. He left her alone in front of the TV while both myself and my mother-in-law were asleep. He says she was fine because she usually does stay very still and quiet while watching TV. But I was curious. Anything could happen. Anything. This home isn't toddler-proofed like ours. I was asleep upstairs and could have possibly slept through any crying or anything alarming. He sees no issue with it because it was just across the street. Am I overreacting?
So I'm not gonna lie. The more this went on, the angrier I got.
Wow, you're angry, huh?
I haven't. And maybe it's a me thing, but I have an issue leaving our kid at home alone, and he's 9. I could not imagine leaving a 2.5-year-old. I mean, even when he was that little, I could never imagine leaving him alone just to go to across the street. Even if you were it would not even matter to me. He's not getting left alone, especially not that small.
So I get what you're saying with our kid because our kid is a special case, right? He's of my stock. So obviously, he will grow into greatness, but it's going to take some time to get there. So I get what you're saying with that. I really want to say that she's overreacting, but she's not. She's not. I would say she was overreacting to a degree if he had left her in a playpen, right? If he left her in some kind of secured area, because then it's well, she's in the playpen. If she's crying for, let's say, 10, 15 minutes, okay, she cried for 10, 15 minutes. That's what you're supposed to allow them to do when you're trying to teach them how to go to sleep anyway, right? Where you just let them cry it out until they pass out. Also, there are people upstairs, so if the crying is prolonged, hopefully they come up. But like I said, that's only if you leave them in a secure way of doing it, right? Like I said, a playpen or something.
Yeah.
It's not overreacting because, yes, it's true. It is only, let's say, 10 minutes. But in that 10 minutes, she could have crawled into the kitchen and gotten into, maybe not one of the liquid things, but maybe some detergent pods or something like that, right?
Yeah.
There's so many different things she could have gotten into. That
Honestly,
I'm not going to
sockets.
Yeah, okay. I mean, come on, they're not gonna. Everyone needs to calm down on the sockets, okay? Unless you have a piece of metal to stick into the socket, your digit's not doing anything. All right? So let's calm down on that. But I would be lying if I, as a father, never had this thought, right? Where I was like, man, he's just chilling. And I could really go for some caffeine. He is burning me the fuck out right now. So yes, there has been that thought process before, but I never actually went with it because I know that it takes 12 seconds of not watching him for hell, it could be 12 seconds of watching him. I once watched him bust his eye on a Foot Locker while he just tripped, bam, went down, started blood gushing down his eye. Had to take him to the hospital.
That's where he gets the stitches from.
Yeah, that was the most traumatic day of my life because I had to hold him down while he's crying and blustering. Ah! And I have to hold him down while the nurse is stitching his eye. Oh, God.
You know,
So that's why I keep him in a bubble now.
it's funny because my sister actually has a scar on her eyebrow in the same place. And I always tell them how very similar that they are. And it's so funny. Like, yeah, they had something very similar happen where my sister fell on her face and she had to go get stitched up.
I can't wait for the movie of this story to come out.
You're annoying. You know that?
You're annoying. Tell the story. Tell what happened, not just something similar.
So she couldn't have been more than 2 years old when this happened, but we were playing in our backyard in our house in San Diego, and my mom used to store the vacuum outside, and we have one of those little Barbie Jeeps, and my dad's outside with us, and she's driving the little Barbie Jeep, and it gets stuck in the crack, and it flips forward, and she lands face first onto the vacuum, and she cut her face open right here on her eyebrow.
Okay, so A, that is a good story. Thank you for actually telling it. B, that is the only thing that's similar in the two stories is that they hit their faces. That's not very similar, okay? That's every person who has ever fallen on their face has a very similar story then, okay?
Why not?
What do you mean, why not?
Because it's funny.
You, oh man, you're infuriating. It's okay. Whew. Okay, we're gonna try and calm down. Actually, no, I can't calm down because the next video that you want me to look at is also infuriating. Okay, because you want me to look at some toxic first date shit.
Yeah, this is bad.
All right, hold on. Let me. All right, so the caption on this video says, I went on a first date with this guy and he crashed out because I don't want to go to his place after.
No. No, why would I come to your place? This is our first date.
We're gonna like watch a movie or some shit. You got Netflix?
Yes, I have Netflix, but like, no, I'm not coming over.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Alright. That's literally the thing, like, when we just expect you to just fucking pay. Alright. We'll come back to my place. We're just gonna watch a movie and then I'll drop you a
I'm not comfortable watching a movie with you. It's our first date.
What the fuck?
I don't.
Bro, we've been talking for hella long. We've been texting.
But like, I don't do that. Off the first date? You want me to cash out you?
Yeah.
For this little $15 meal?
It was more than 15.
It was $15 for my food.
So you're not gonna cash at me?
Okay. First off, can we just say, I think we're overusing the word crash out, okay?
Yeah, 1,000%.
Like don't get it wrong. He was acting, right? But I wouldn't say it was a full-on crash out. I think we're overusing the word crash out. We need to tighten it up a little bit, guys.
Yeah, when I see the word crash out, I'm definitely expecting like flip tables and like
at least yelling.
Or something.
We need to yell. So the only thing I will say in defense of this guy is that, and I understand it, he wasn't taking no for an answer, but she was changing her story up as she was talking, okay? Because first it was, I don't feel comfortable. Then it was, I don't do that on the first date. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I might have, if I said something to you on our first date, which it was, you're at lunch, you're on your lunch break, so you couldn't have stayed very long anyway. So it'd been weird if I was like, come on, let's go watch a movie. You're like, nah, I got work. Like, bitch, you don't even like me? What the fuck? But I would understand if like I was texting / talking to you for a while, and then we went on this date, and then I said, hey, you want to go back to my place? And she's like, no, I can't trust you like that. Like that would make me feel a certain type of way. Okay. Like I get where she's coming from because it is like a safety thing or whatever, but I'm just saying, I think she should have, my point is, I think she should have led with it's a first date. I don't do that on the first date. That's my point.
Okay. So from what I will say is like from the woman's perspective, when this kind of stuff happens to you and the guy is just not taking no for an answer, you do start to scramble and you start to think of other reasons that I can say in order to make him accept why I am saying no. And
right.
this is what is sounding like happened here, because he was just so like, I can't believe this, whatever, like, you're not going to come home with me, that it's like, okay, well, I've told him no. I've told him a reason. I've said no again, and he's not taking it. And for us, like, that can become a very dangerous situation very fast.
No. So I totally get that. And I'm not saying that I have an issue with her changing her story up or anything because of the position he was putting her in. What I'm saying is she should have started with, I don't do that on the first date, right? My point is that she should have started with that, and then if she has to scramble to say you don't make me feel good or whatever, that because when you start off with I don't feel comfortable with you or something like that, that would put me on the defense is what I'm saying. Good, bad, or indifferent. I'm not saying that he's correct. I'm saying she could have chosen different words in that sentence. And then when he says no, then you go, well, I mean, honestly, like the way you're acting, it makes me feel uncomfortable type shit. That's where I'm coming from. It is a bit of a two-way street, right? Because here's the other, he also could have flipped it on her and be like, I could see that you disagree with me. I don't understand why you disagree with me, but it's fine. Why do you disagree? I have to know now.
I mean, he could have just accepted her no.
I'm not saying anything he did was okay. I'm talking about how she came at the situation.
I get that.
I get that, even though I completely disagree with you.
I'm allowed. Am I not?
No, you're not allowed.
Oh. Whoops.
Yeah. Whoops.
I'm still going to do it anyway.
No.
Thank you, Judy.
Judy's not even here to defend herself. I feel like Judy would be on my side in this situation.
Obviously. I'm on your side in this situation. That's what's so annoying, okay? Is I am not saying that homie handled the situation correctly. What I'm saying is that her first initial thing that she said was, I don't feel comfortable with you, right?
I guess.
So that's why look, if she felt like this was a bad first date and she didn't want to see him again or anything like that, okay, cool. That's a whole different thing, right? But when you tell someone, I don't feel comfortable with you, even if she had said, I wouldn't do that with anyone. I don't feel comfortable enough with anyone on a first date because that's not how I roll, right? Which is a combination of the first and second thing that she said. If she had said something like that, it's not as incendiary, let's say, as what she was, I don't feel comfortable with you.
I guess.
Right? Because my point is, if on our first date, if you had said something like that to me, I would instinctively get defensive, not to the same degree homie did, right? But I would get defensive and be like, wait, what? We've been talking for, like he said, like we've been talking for a long time. I thought we had a really good time on this date. Like, what did I do something that makes you feel uncomfortable? If I did, but you see what I'm saying? Where now my brain can go through this entire traveled road that it shouldn't have gone on just because you may have miscommunicated your feelings to me in that moment?
I guess.
I guess. That's the closest I'm ever going to get to a you're correct, okay? Okay, that's what happens when you get married to a Latina and she's a Leo. That's the closest you ever going to get to a yes, you're correct, okay? Now, here's the other thing, okay? Here's where he fucked up.
Okay.
Here's where he fucked up. You say that. You say, hey, you want to go back to my place for a movie? And she's like, I'm not really with that. This is the Hail Mary. It's not a guarantee, but it's the closest thing that you can use. And if it works, oh, boys, you're definitely getting laid that night, okay? So they say I'm not interested. You say, you know what? I totally get and understand where you're coming from. I appreciate that you're being open and honest with me. I just thought that we were having a great night and I wanted to have it continue. If you do choose to come over to my place, I promise you that not only will I not do anything to you, that if anything were to happen, the only way it would happen is if you initiate. If not, I'm just going to sit on the couch, enjoy your company, watch a movie, and then when the night's over, then, then we'll see what happens from there. Like, if you want to go home, cool, but whatever. I just, like I said, I'm enjoying my time with you, and I want it to continue.
How many times have you rehearsed that?
I've never rehearsed it in my life. It's the first time. But see, look at you right now. 2 minutes ago, you're like, it's a safety thing. It's a safety thing. And now I drop that line and it's like,
Oh my gosh. Stop it.
What? Am I
That did
wrong?
not happen.
Am I wrong though? Am I wrong in what I said? That line, if you're going to succeed in getting them to come over, that's the line you drop. Now, at the same time though, it can't just be a line, boys. Like you gotta actually like not make a move on them when they come over, okay? You gotta wait. You gotta be military position. Hands at your sides.
I mean, that line would probably get you through the door, for sure. For sure.
No, that line would get you through the door. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
But this is the thing, right? Like, but do you see how my point in going back to what we were talking about with the girl, do you see how the words that we say can change the way that someone is mentally feeling in the moment?
Of course.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like when she chose to say, and I'm not saying it was like a premeditated thing. I understand it's the first thing that popped up out of her head. Right. But when she chose to say, I don't feel comfortable with you, it set him on a path. He was already probably going to crash out. Right. But it set him down a path of now like, damn, I thought things were going cool. And now she says she doesn't like feel comfortable around me. Like, and we as men also know what that means, right? Because when you say I don't feel comfortable around you, you know what that makes me feel as a man? It makes me feel like I'm a Weinsteiner, right?
No.
It makes me feel like I'm part of that Me Too thing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no.
Right, but and justifiably so, because like you said, it's about safety for women. But that's why, like, if I take you on a date, we've been texting for a long time, we've been doing all this stuff, and then you say something like that to me, I'm gonna be like, damn, am I coming off creepy as fuck? Like, what the hell did I do? Rather than if you would just start off by saying, hey, I don't do that on the first date. It's the same thing. I saw this in a movie, so you can't say that this is me, okay? But it's the same thing. You bring someone home at the end of the night for like a one-night stand or whatever. It's completely different if you don't say anything to them and then you kick them out first thing in the morning like, yo, I got shit to do. Or if before anything happens, you're like, hey, just so you know, I got to wake up super early in the morning. So like, we're about to have some fun, but just don't be surprised when I also wake you up at 5:30 to get out. Guess what happens? Homie's waking up at 5. He's going to clean his side of the bed. He's going to leave you a little note, be like, thanks for the great time. And he going to sneak himself out. But you know what happened in the first one? Bitch, why I got to wake up? I'm tired. Leave me alone. You didn't tell me. I don't know. See, it's all about communication. It's all about communication.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess you can be right.
And then you can send them off with a little gift basket. Oh my God. That's definitely how you get repeat business.
Repeat business? What?
What?
What do you mean repeat business? Is that what you call it?
I mean, yeah.
You gotta think of some better names before you just say.
Why do I have to think? No. Why do I have to think about anything better than that? Like, look, I'm not saying that. Look, you gotta understand. I understand that you had a quote unquote hoe phase in which you hooked up with like 3 dudes in the span of 7 months, and you were like, oh my God, I'm living my wildest life right now. Okay, but some of us were out there in these streets. Okay. Some of us were having to do things that now, if we think about it, make us feel less about ourselves, and that we were obviously trying to fill a hole deep, deep inside, okay? When I say repeat business, I'm not talking about anyone I was actually dating. I'm talking about, like, hookups, okay?
I guess. As long as I'm not in the list.
Yeah, you were totally not on any list ever. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. I shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember one time when I was working, this is before I met you, obviously. I was working at a radio station, and one of my managers was like, how many people are you dating? And I was like, I'm not dating anyone. I'm going on dates. And
there is a difference.
Yeah, and she was like, "This motherfucker got a basketball team. What you got? You got a starting 5 and 1 in reserve, huh?" I was like, "What?" It's that nervous laugh, you know.
I do know.
Yeah,
you were like, "It's time for me to go."
Oh man, but yeah, no. I mean, back in the day. You say you had a hoe phase. I had a hoe phase. Okay.
I know.
I know. It's fine. It was before me, or else I would kill you.
Yep.
See, don't let the smile fool you, boys. Okay. I learned a long time ago from my friend Aaron. You never look at a woman's smile. You never trust the smile, because guess what's happening? You gonna look at the smile, you gonna think, oh, cool, everything's fine, she's smiling. Next thing you know, bam! Shot to the neck. Shot right to the fucking neck. And you, right? You know where you look? You look in the eyes. The eyes never show or never hide the fury that is coming for you, okay? I'm looking at her through an electronic screen right now, through some fucking glasses that got the shine on them, and I still been waiting for the fury. It's happened like milliseconds here and there during this show, but like, you know, right now we good. You know, I go back to talking about the starting 5. Then we can see, there it is. There it is. You can catch it. You can catch it if you see it. Oh.
Oh man, you did get me. You said starting 5 and I immediately was. Oh man.
Oh man. Speaking of dating, this week I was watching YouTube as I usually do, and a documentary came up that was talking about women who marry men in prison.
Okay.
And it led me to hearing one of the big, and I've heard this lie. I've said this lie. Like, this is, and I think it's something that like we all understand is a lie, but it's a lie for the better good of everyone. Okay.
Okay.
because these women are going around talking to their families like, yeah, I'm getting married to this convict that I met in jail, right? We've only ever been able to talk to each other through a 3-inch piece of glass and a telephone, right? But the thing that a lot of women kept hearing was, you know, people are just saying, if I'm happy, they're happy. And that's the biggest fucking lie in the world. You know what that is? That's the polite way of saying, bitch, is you crazy? I'm saying if you're happy, I'm happy. So when this whole thing turns into the Hindenburg and blows the fuck up, at least I said I was happy at the beginning, and now you're not happy, so I don't have to be happy no more. That's what we're saying. That is the social contract that everyone's getting into. And it's so funny because then I'm hearing this and I'm putting everything together, and I'm remembering my mom saying that to me when I was like getting ready to get married. Not to you, but originally. And it's just like, oh, I know what she was saying now. Oh, fuck.
Oh, man. Yeah, I've said that a ton of times, too. But really, it was more like, I really don't support this decision, but here we are. I guess I'm going to support you anyway.
I couldn't believe it. Like, it's just so amazing when you hear something at, let's say, 30, and it means something to you differently than it does when you get to, I hate to say this, 40. But, you know, incredible that it took a fucking women getting married to convicts documentary for me to put them puzzle pieces together.
It's
so
okay.
All right, you guys heard the gong. That does it for this episode of A Conversation with Judy and Ryan. Thank you guys so much for listening. Like I say every week, man, we appreciate you guys being on a journey with us. Even if you only ever listen to one episode, hey, you're still part of the journey. We appreciate it. If you could like, share, subscribe the content. You made it all the way to the end of the video, end of the podcast. So you might have enjoyed what you were doing. So if you enjoyed it, other people might enjoy it. I don't know. You're not out there yelling, listen to A Conversation with Judy and Ryan. I know you're not out there. I live in these streets, okay? I ain't heard a motherfucker yet. Just be like, let's do A Conversation with Judy and Ryan. No one.
At least give us a thumbs up.
Yeah, so if you could like, share, subscribe, we'd appreciate that. Until next time, guys, we hope that you have a great week, and we will talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.